Welcome to the Temple of Flame. On today, Faithful Acolytes, we take a look at this. And what this is from Smokin Heads, it is the Goji Berry Pineapple Hot, the hot Goji Berry Pineapple Hot Sauce. There is a mild version of this as well. And the label got a little loose because it was, you know what? Head on over to my blog. The story is there in the Q1 2025 update. The my adventure to start off the year. Yet another one. Why do I need so many adventures in January? The world may never know. I certainly don't. Anyway, so there's some commentary here about Smokin Head curry. And we're not here to review the very rich fun on Smokin Head, though. It certainly he's more than earned his place in the halls of legend here in the chili head world. But so we've got here ingredients wise: pineapple, chili peppers, goji berries dried, and vinegar. So the chili peppers in this, so the mild ones are all red jalapeno. The hot ones, the hotter versions of all of these are the Mighty Reaper, unless it says Pepper X on it, is what I have understood from the fine folks over at Pucker Butt, which is not actually listed on this. So, and I mentioned this in one of the other sauce reviews that I did for one of the other products. I don't know if this is an overall rebranding or if Smokin Heads is more of the gourmet boutique Ed just flexing his muscles as a creative hot sauce maker and the different food types he likes. I don't actually know. And Pucker Butt is there to just the sauces that are there meant to destroy you. I don't actually know. But so far, all of these that I've had in the Smokin Heads line have been quite a bit milder than a lot of the Pucker Butt sauces I've had. And I don't know if Pucker Butt's being discontinued, or, I mean, I certainly wouldn't hope that Chipotle Express isn't. So that is a dynamo of a sauce. See, we're very, very chunky here. Pushing the boundaries here of the thickness of a sauce, I think, a little bit. Really, really pretty, though. Goji berries I'm not super familiar with other than as like a smoothie ingredient and a superfood and so on and so forth. So one of the challenges I've had with this is trying to pair it, because definitely there may be pineapple in there, but it is very, very goji berry by way of super hot bitter in terms of flavor profile. So anyway, let's get into it. This reminds me of some of the sort of challenge products with a lot of Reaper in there, when you kind of have the sweetness and some fruit. It's taking on that aspect a little bit there. Yeah, I mean, it definitely is punchy. There's no mistaking that the Mighty Mighty Reaper is at hand here for this one. Alrighty, so we've got some Arby's. We've got jalapeno poppers. Which, you know, I don't like their jalapeno poppers particularly. But I thought, you know, it comes with the Bronco sauce, which I also don't like. Just ringing endorsements everywhere here. And I thought, well, what if I just try this as a replacement for that? Because goji berry, I just don't know where it's supposed to go or what it's supposed to do. I'm just not familiar with it, but it's not, I know it's a superfood, but I mostly have heard of it only in smoothies, and I don't really do a lot of smoothies. Or an oatmeal, which I also don't really do much with. So I don't know. It's not very, this is not a particularly sweet sauce. Maybe that comes from using dried goji berries. I don't know. Not bad here. That is the thing with the sauce, though, is I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. Put it in smoothies, I guess. I definitely can't think of another sauce that I've had that has goji berry in it. So, you know, pretty unique there. And also why. I'd be really interested to understand a little bit of the development of this sauce, why these ingredients were chosen. If I ever perchance meet Ed Curry, I'm just kind of hammer him with questions about why did you do this? Why pick this? Why this? Just talk about sauces that may not even be on the market at that point. Okay, so the Arby's Big Fish. I substituted the tartar sauce for mayo because I don't like tartar sauce, so I've tried this on a number of meats. I'm just trying to figure out where it fits in. It's just a touch challenging. And I think it has to do with the flavor of the sauce, which comes across to me as a bit odd. Like, I really don't know what to make of it. It does have a little bit of a degree of sourness to it. Along with definitely the super hot stylings of the Reaper. The Mighty Mighty Reaper. It's interesting on the fish. I've never had berries. It might be berries generally work better with like red meat. I tried it on chicken. Thought it was kind of like I do here, just like that's very different. It's a tad unusual. I do like this on sandwiches though. And I had it with I think a roast beef from Arby's prior to this when I was testing it. And I didn't love that. Had it on a burger. Didn't love that either. It just didn't seem to mesh very well. I actually think it's really good here though, where it's mixing with the mayo a little bit. It's adding a little bit of tartness to the fish, which it's working really well here actually. So I guess if you get an Arby's fish sandwich, that's a bit overly bland, you could get that. No mistaking there's Reapers in there though. That they are fairly forward in the flavor. I just can't decide if I like them on this. It's not bad. It does have a certain uniqueness to it. You know, but there's, you know, again, there's the trouble, right? If your summation of adding any condiment to some food is just to say, well, it's not bad. We don't want that. We want an objective improvement. I honestly feel this is overly tart. That might be part of the issue here. But, you know, maybe that's a function of goji berries. I don't know what they're like in the wild. I don't know if I've ever had one. I feel like I probably have. I just don't remember it. Like cranberries, for instance, having those in the wild, if you don't find some way to dial that quinine down, that is extremely bracing. So goji berries might be something along those lines. Not inherently sweet like a blackberry or a blueberry or a strawberry. Obviously, unripe versions of those are tart as well, but I don't know. Like I said, I do give Ed strong props because I can't think of another sauce A like this, but also B that uses that ingredient. And I don't know if Ed's a big smoothie fan. It sounds like he likes to be like me and slug caffeine, but if he is, maybe it's something he's trying for his own smoothies. I don't know. It's just so oddball. All right. Well, I don't even have equipment to make a smoothie. I don't own a blender. No reason for me to have one. I used to have a magic bullet, but that died. So, ice cream topping it is. Just see See how she fly. Or if. I guess maybe if. Cut this down here so it doesn't leak everywhere. Just a nice vanilla bean ice cream. So one of the things I will say is nice about this is you can get a pretty good sense of the flavor of the Mighty Mighty Reaper here without paying too dearly for it. And the Mighty Mighty Reaper, the reason I call it the Mighty Mighty Reaper is it stands alone as overall the pepper I've just had. My body just has I struggle the most coming to terms with. Oh wow. It does things that, unless I have tolerance specifically for the Reaper, no other pepper does. Like, even though my tolerance is low, Scorpions won't do that. Seven Pot Primos won't do that. Which I guess is, I mean, it's a pretty uncontrollable thing, so I guess it's probably, that might be a nod towards those two not being as identical as they're sometimes portrayed to be. Pepper X doesn't do that. Ghosties don't do that. Seven Pot Dougalas don't do that. Just the Mighty Mighty Reaper for whatever reason. The most violent and worst cramping I've had has been at the hands of that pepper. The top 5, in fact, have been at the hands of that pepper. Even over extract. It's weird. I don't know what it is about them. Obviously something, a chemistry related thing, I would imagine, but that wasn't bad. I think you could do some, maybe, it gets me thinking this might be kind of fun to play around with it like a fruit tart. Or you could put it in a smoothie. I think it worked pretty well there, actually, with that. Anyway, after eating all that, I'd say probably at the peak, I was a bit above a 2. We whipped through a little more than an ounce of this in this video. But I'd say, yeah, I think I gave it a 2, but to me, this is a 2 that I think is going to push non-chili heads substantially. Definitely, it's gonna push them a bit. The Reaper definitely shows up with this one, but it's another one. I just don't know where to put it. I've tried it on a lot of different things. I mean, we're about halfway through this bottle now. I mean, I've tried it on a lot of different stuff, and some things it's okay, but at the same time, I'm thinking, well, I would rather have this other thing. And that part I just can't get away from on this. I mean, the sauce itself, I think, is really curious. Mouthfeel is, it's a touch grainy. I mean, using dried anything is going to give you that. There's not really a way to undo that. It does flow pretty well, though, for all that. I think this might be a touch overly tart for me, but it's a bit hard to judge as far as in terms of goji berry because I'm just not familiar enough with that, and possibly I'm just not a fan of goji berries. I don't know. I do like pineapple, and the Mighty Mighty Reaper, like I said, I guess a touch conflicted about. I think that the taste is fine. It's okay. I don't have really an issue with the taste of the Reaper. It's just the havoc it tends to wreak internally. This is not. There's not enough of it here. It's not. This is not hot enough for that to have that effect. Happily, but yeah, because the thing I like the least is about being a chili is if I happen to overdo it and I wind up with cap cramping. I really, really dislike that. That is not pleasurable at any level. So yeah, maybe that's just the use of this. Maybe it's just there as an experimental sauce, and I just try it on literally everything where I think berries might be good. Pineapple really doesn't play into this much. Like the flavor is definitely more goji berry and Reaper. Those two are very, very much the flavor profile of this. And I don't know, like the pineapple is not really even there as an accent. I think pineapple is a bit too subtle. I think those two flavors are forceful enough that it's just really, really hard for the pineapple to get a flavor in edgewise, if you will. But yeah, very intriguing sauce. Like I said, certainly unique. I don't come across goji berry all that often, but for me, trying to figure out where it should go is definitely, I think, the battle for this one. And I don't know whether or not I'm going to discover that before the end of this. Like, it was fine on the fish sandwich, but I don't have those a lot. So it is hot enough, though. I might just use it for a tolerance builder. But, I mean, I guess that does kind of speak to flexibility being a bit low with this one. Like I said, flavor-wise, you can get a good sense of the Reapers without paying too dearly for it. So it is good in that respect. I don't think it's quite suited to my palate, I guess, is probably where I'm just going to leave this one. So, but anyway, that was the Smokin' Ed's hot goji berry pineapple hot sauce. Number 4. In peace, to serve the flame.